Sevgili YouTube, yeni serimize hoş geldiniz. The Stanley Parable oynuyoruz. Hadi gelin bakalım. Neymiş bu Stanley meselesi? Hep beraber bir görelim. Kendisi hakkında tuhaf, enteresan, acayip bir oyun olduğu
This is the
söylentisi var.
story of a man named Stanley.
Hadi bakalım.
Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427. Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427 did every day of every month of every year. And although others might have considered it soul-rending, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job. And Stanley was happy.
Evet.
And then one day, something very peculiar happened. Something that would forever change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow. No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi. Never in all his years at the company had this happened, this complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office.
Evet arkadaşlar, anladığım kadarıyla Stanley isimli bir arkadaşımız var ve 427 numaralı odada çalışıyor. Arkadaşa patronu kameradan emirler verip duruyormuş ve o da butonlara basıp bir işler yapıyormuş. Bir gün emir gelme durmuş. Yani hiçbir komut gelmemiş kendisine. Yani enteresan bir şey olmuş. Bakalım ne olmuş.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Hemen sizin için şöyle bir bakalım. Alt yazılar var mı? Acaba nerede? Evet, alt yazıları açalım şuradan. Tüm yazılar. Çok güzel. Odamıza tekrar giremiyoruz. Oğlum benim odam değil mi? Anahtarı yok mu bende?
Stanley went around touching every little thing in the office, but it didn't make a single difference, nor did it advance the story in any way. No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
Sevgili iş arkadaşlarım. Allah Allah, neler oluyor acaba? ...417'ye kadar geldik.
When Stanley came to a set of two open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Bana ne? Sağdan gireceğim.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire
Çok güzel.
it.
Hikaye oynama şeklimize göre değişiyor. Dur, çok hoşuma gitti. Bakalım nasıl olacak. Umarım sizin de keyif alacağınız bir seri olmuş olur. Dinlenme odası mı dedi buraya, ne dedi?
Yes, truly a room worth admiring. It had really been worth the detour after all, just to spend a few moments here in this immaculate, beautifully constructed room. Stanley simply stood here, drinking it all in.
Dış sesin
Yes, really, really worth it being here in the room. A room so utterly captivating that even though all your co-workers have mysteriously vanished, here you sit looking at these chairs and some paintings. Really worth it. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
solumuzdaki kapı.
And so he
Ay.
detoured through the maintenance section, walked straight ahead to the opposite door, and got back on track.
Ben belki geri gideceğim. Geri dediğim aşağı. Kırmızı butona dayanamıyorum biliyorsunuz bir önceki seriden. Neyi loadingliyor acaba?
But Stanley didn't want to go back to the office. He wanted to wander about and get even further off track. So now in order to get back, he needed to go, from here it's, left.
Dış sesin bile kafasını karıştırdık. Ya bu arada şey diyordum. Dış sesin sesi ne kadar da Manuel Samuel'e benziyor ya. Manuel Samuel'deki dış sese
Oh, no.
benziyor.
No, it's to the right. My mistake.
Sevgili dış
No,
ses.
no, not the right. Why would I have ever said it was to the right? What was I thinking? It's clearly... Oh dear, would you hold on for a minute, please? Now, let's see. We went down right, left, down, left, right. Yep, okay,
I got
okay,
it.
yes. I've got it now. This story is absolutely, definitely this way.
Oh. Bu ne ya?
No. This isn't right at all. You're not supposed to be here yet. This is all a spoiler. Quick, Stanley, close your eyes. Okay. We just have to get back to, oh, who am I kidding? It's all rubbish now. The whole story completely unusable. How about, rather than waste my time trying to salvage this nonsense, we'll just restart the game from the beginning. And this time, suppose we don't wander so far off track, hmm? Okay, from the top.
Aa. Çok enteresanmış gerçekten. Saat kaç? ...11:20. Tamam. İyi hadi baştan başladık bakalım.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Toplantı odası nerede ki? Ola. Nerede ola ki? Tamam bu sefer dış sesi dinleyeceğiz. Demek ki dış sesi dinlememiz gerekiyormuş.
When Stanley... Wait, what? No, I restarted. I swear I definitely restarted the game over, completely fresh. Everything should be... Oh, did something change? Stanley, did you change anything when we were back in that room with all
Vallahi
the
hiçbir şeye
monitors?
basmadım.
Did you move the story somewhere or... Hold on. Why am I asking you? I'm the one who wrote the story. It was right here just a minute ago. I know for sure that it's here somewhere.
Abi dalga
then.
mı geçiyorsunuz?
It's an adventure. Come, Stanley. Let's find the story.
Oo. Peki. Soldan git demiştin sen bana. Soldan gidiyorum. Geçen sağdan gitmiştim. Umarım doğru yerdir. Labirent gibi bir şey mi ya? Bu oyunun mantığını hiç anlamadım ben şu an henüz.
I'll say it. This is the worst adventure I've ever been on. I can promise you there definitely was a story here before. Do we need to restart the game again? Well, I find it unlikely that we'll ever progress by starting over and over again, but it's got to be better than this. Okay, let's give it a shot. Why not?
Aa. Tamam.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Peki güzel kardeşim, toplantı odası nerede? Abi upload bile durmuş. Upload mı ediyorsun, download mı ediyorsun? Gerçi bilmiyorum ama. O bile zaman durmuş sanki ya. Hmm. Fax geldi sanki. Çok kafam karıştı.
Okay, yep, it's worse. I might be remembering this wrong. It's possible the story is back where we just came from. Why don't we go back the other direction and see if we missed anything?
Ya tamam, söz, bir daha senin dediğin şekilde oynayacağım. Ya, en başa atar mısın beni ya? Hmm. Kapılar da açılmıyor.
Aha! I knew we'd missed something.
Vallahi
The
mı?
story. Here it comes.
Hadi ya, getir şu hikayeyi.
No, wait, never mind. Not the story. Okay, let's head back the other way and retrace our steps.
Şu an dünyanın en garip oyunu... Ne? Abi,
Now this... Well, I'll be honest, I don't recognize this place at all. Is this the story? I don't think so. I can't quite recall, but I believe my story took place in an office building. Is that correct? Do you remember, Stanley?
evet.
Do you know what? Since I've completely forgotten what we were supposed to be doing,
Yeniden
how
başlatma
about
artık
this?
ama ya.
You win! Congratulations! I know you put in a lot of hard work, and it really paid off, so good job.
Aa,
Oh,
yes.
no. No, I don't feel right about this at all. We both know you didn't put in any actual work for that win. Some people win fair and square, and this was not one of those situations. Okay? I'm getting weirded out by whatever this place is. I don't care what might happen this time. I have to restart.
Ya yeter ama ha.
All right, I've got a solution. This time, to make sure we don't get lost, I've employed the help of the Stanley Parable Adventure Line. Just follow the line. How simple is that?
Hadi bakalım. Bende mi bir sıkıntı var? Diğer oynayanlar da böyle mi acaba ya? Çok merak ettim şu an ya. Lütfen hani bir bilginiz varsa yorumlarda belirtirseniz sevinirim. Acaba benim gibi aykırı giden oldu mu daha
You
önce?
see, the line knows where the story is. It's over in this direction. Onward, Stanley, to destiny. Though, here's a thought. Wouldn't wherever we end up be our destination, even if there's no story there? Or to put it another way, is the story of no destination still a story? Simply by the act of moving forward, are we implying a journey such that a destination is inevitably conjured into being via the very manifestation of the nature of life itself? Okay, Stanley, I need to follow this train of thought for a minute. Just stick with me. Now, we can both agree that the nature of existence is in fact a byproduct of one's subjective experience of that existence, right? Okay. Now, if my experience of your existence rests inside of your subjective experience of this office, is this office in fact the skeleton of my own relative experiential mental subjective construct? Whoa. Hang on. That got a bit weird back there. Well, I'd like to apologize. Not sure where I was going with all that. You know what?
Abi benle
I
dalga mı
think what we
geçiyorsun
need
ya?
right now is a bit of music to lighten the mood.
Ver müziği de telif yemeyelim ama. Ha, müziğin sesini kısmıştım ama. Çok merak ettim şu an ses. Beynimizi sulandıracaksın yani. Tamam, anlaşıldı.
Wait, cut the music. Go back and look at that fern. Stanley, this
Aşkım.
fern will be very important later in the story. Make sure you study it closely and remember it carefully. You won't want to miss anything.
Dalga mı geçiyorsun? Tamam, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 tane basamağı var bu aşk merdiveninin. Aşk merdiveni dediği bu herhalde. Kaç dedim? Bir daha sor. Bir daha. 8 mi demiştin? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, evet. 8 basamaklı bir merdiven. Hadi bakalım.
Wait, what? We're back at the office? No, no, no. Line, you do know we're looking for the Stanley parable, right? The story? Is any of this ringing a bell?
Abi benimle dalga geçme ya. Vallahi bak, silerim seni ha. Silerim ya. Böyle oyun mu olur lan? Bu ne? Zaten yön bulma özürlüsüyüm. Ya gene mi bura? Girmem ben buraya. Sıfırlatıyor hikayeyi. Hayır ya. Oraya mı çıkarıyorsun gerçekten mi? Ne yapmamız gerektiği konusunda hiçbir şey anlamadım. Oraya götürüyor beni.
Oh, no, not again. Line, how could you have done this to us? And after we trusted you, after everything we've been through, you... Oh, I can't take this anymore. To hell with it. Restart.
Ay. Gene saat 11:40. Konuşmayacak mısın abi? Tamam, konuşma.
You know what, Stanley? I say forget the adventure line. What's it ever done for us? We're intelligent people, right? Why can't we make up our own story?
Evet.
Something exciting, daring, mysterious. Ooh, this all sounds perfectly doable. Why don't we simply start wandering in, well, I don't know. How about this direction?
Tamam abi, hadi.
Now, yes, this is exciting. Just me and Stanley forging a new path,
Gene
a new
boşa
story. Well,
kürek
it could be
çekiyoruz
anything.
ama hadi bakalım.
What do you want our story to be? Go wild. Use your imagination.
Abi beni...
Whatever it might be, Stanley, I'm ready for it.
Aa, kafayı yiyeceğim şimdi ha. Ben mi yanlış görüyorum? Aa.
Oh, no, not you again. Stanley, I'd also like to veto the line from having any role in our awesome new story. No lines or monitor rooms. Just don't acknowledge it, and we should be fine.
Tamam. Ama maalesef tek yöne gidiyor. Allah'ın manyakları. Nasıl bir kafayla yaşadınız bunu ya?
Ah, a choice. We get to make a decision. From here, the story is in our control. How important we mustn't squander the opportunity. In fact, I believe I need a minute to think here. Just walk in circles for a minute. Okay, so I know that each door has to lead somewhere, which means that somewhere at the place where we're trying to go, there must be a reverse door that leads here. And that in turn means that our destination corresponds with the counter-inverted reverse door's origin. So starting from the right, let us ask, will taking the right door lead us to where we're going?
Asla
And since
bilemezsin.
the answer is clearly yes, then by all accounts, the door on the right is the correct one. Another victory for logic. Come, Stanley, our destiny awaits.
Aa. Nasıl ya?
Oh, hold up, what's this? The confusion ending. You're telling me that's what this is? It's all one giant ending? And we're supposed to restart the game, what, eight times? That's really how all this goes? It's all determined? So now, according to the schedule, I restart again. Then what? Am I just supposed to forget? Well, what if I don't want to forget? My mind goes blank simply because it's written here on this thing.
Stanley ölüyor mu?
Well, who consulted me? Why don't I get to decide? Why don't I get a say in all of this? Is it really? No, it can't be. I don't want it to be. I don't want the game to keep restarting. I don't want to forget what's going on. I don't want to be trapped like this. I won't restart the game. I won't do it. I won't do it. I won't do it.
Tamam yap.
And the timer stopped? Does that mean, did we do it? Did we break the cycle? The, whatever it is that made this schedule? How would we even know? Will someone come for us? Will something happen?
Hayır.
So, okay. I guess now we just wait. You know, I suppose in some way that this is a kind of story, wouldn't you agree? I'm not quite sure if we're in the destination or the journey, though they're always saying that life is about the journey and not the destination. So I hope that's where we are right now. We'll find out, won't we? Eventually. Well, in the meantime, if you do happen to have a...
Of. Gene mi? Gene restart yedik. Lanet olasıca. Başladık kaçıncı restart bu ya? Of. Ne diyorsunuz peki bu konuda, ne düşünüyorsunuz? Yorumlarda belli ederseniz sevinirim ya. Hani devamı gelsin mi? Peki. Peki. Peki. Hadi bir kez daha başlayalım hadi.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Güzel kardeşim, toplantı odasının nerede olduğunu ben nasıl bilebilirim ya? Kapılar da açılmıyor. Bütün odalar birbirinin aynı. Her geçtiğim yer aynı gibi geliyor gözüme. Çok enteresan bir oyun olmuş ya. Açamıyoruz ki.
When Stanley came to a set of two open doors, he entered the
en
door
başa
on his
döndük.
left.
Ah, girdim. Geldik toplantı odasına.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
Şu tahtalarda neler yazıyor bir bakalım. Slide dönüyor. Düşünsenize aslında oyunu yaparken kullanıldıkları notları yazmışlar burada falan. Ne kadar güzel bir detay olurdu ya. Ya oyun oynarken bu tarz detaylara bakın arkadaşlar. İnsanlar emek harcıyor. Verdiğiniz paraya da değsin ya. Bir hakkını verin yani. Şu sarı nota bakın. Hiçbir şeyle etkileşime giremiyoruz ama ya. Acaba girebilecek miyiz? Gelecek yarın, bugün de şimdi. Yarın da şimdi. Ne güzel çevirdim ya, valla. Çok güzel ya, değil mi? Çok güzel bir söz. Evet, hadi bakalım.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Hadi yönelelim bakalım. Boss's office. Oo. Ya yanlış yere geliyoruz ya. Böyle bir patron odası olamaz. Olurmuş. Sekreter de yok.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this, what dark secret was being held from him. What he could not have known was that the keypad behind the boss's desk guarded the terrible truth that his boss had been keeping from him. And so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number, 2845. But of course, Stanley couldn't possibly have known this.
Acaba yazsam ne olur?
Stanley just sat around twiddling his thumbs. Yet incredibly, by simply pushing random buttons on the keypad, Stanley happened to input the correct code by sheer luck. Amazing. He stepped into the newly opened passageway.
Atalım bakalım. Başımıza neler gelecek ya. Gene mi aşağıya gidiyoruz?
Descending deeper into the building, Stanley realized he felt a bit peculiar. It was a stirring of emotion in his chest, as though he felt more free to think for himself, to question the nature of his job. Why did he feel this now, when for years it had never occurred to him? This question would not go unanswered for long.
Asansörün elektriği de gitti. Hadi bakalım. Geldik.
Stanley walked
cenabet
straight
eve.
ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
Of, mind control. Kaçış. Kaçış diye. Hikayeyi takip edeceğim. Ya şu meşhur oda olmasın ya.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out?
Şuraya bir yol açıldı. Ne diyordum ya? Insight'tan sonra kameralar, kamera butonu. Aç
Now
bakalım.
the monitors jumped to life, their true nature revealed. Each bore the number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen, and Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing.
Ay. Hikaye derinleşiyor. Gerçekten hiçbir insan belirtisi yok yalnız ha.
This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly? No, he refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never! It was unthinkable, wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world? But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy, or sad, or content. Walking, eating, working. All of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he would dismantle the controls once and for all.
Şunu diyordum. Eğer beni izleyen küçük arkadaşlarım varsa büyüyüp bir işe girdikten sonra bu oyunu bir daha tekrar izlesinler ve ne kadar manidar olduğunu anlayacaklardır. Offline mı? Hadi bakalım. Gördüğün her düğmeye basmazsın ama ya, değil mi? Offline. Şu yukarıda ne var acaba ya? Yok edip yukarı mı çıkacağız acaba? Ne bu? Ana sahneye doğru gidelim bakalım neler olacak. Ama şunu çok merak ettim ya. Ne bu? Console disabled. Her şey kapalı şu an. Online'a mı çekeceğiz acaba ya? Her şeyi. Offline'ız. Beş. Şu sol tarafta yazanlar ne acaba ya? Çok ufak ufak okuyamıyorum.
And when at last he found the source of the room's power, he knew it was his duty, his obligation, to put an end to this horrible place and to everything it stood for.
Zaten offline şu an. Oğlum restart attı deme ya.
Blackness and a rising chill of uncertainty. Was it over? Yes. He had won. He had defeated the machine, unshackled himself from someone else's command. Freedom was mere moments away. And yet, even as the immense door slowly opened, Stanley reflected on how many puzzles still lay unsolved. Where had his co-workers gone? How had he been freed from the machine's grasp? What other mysteries did this strange building hold?
Evet.
But as sunlight streamed into the chamber, he realized none of this mattered to him, for it was not knowledge or even power that he had been seeking, but happiness. Perhaps his goal had not been to understand, but to let go. No longer would anyone tell him where to go, what to do, or how to feel. Whatever life he lives, it will be his. And that was all he needed to know. It was perhaps the only thing worth knowing. Stanley stepped through the open door.
Ben çözmek istiyorum ama bunu. Acaba
Stanley felt the cool
Neyse.
breeze upon his skin, the feeling of liberation, the immense possibility of the new path before him. This was exactly the way, right now, that things were meant to happen. And Stanley was happy.
oyunu yendik. And is never end. Okay. Çok enteresan bir bölüm oldu ya. Gerçekten. Peki. Arkadaşlar umarım beğenmişsinizdir. Bir sonraki bölümde görüşmek üzere. Kendinize dikkat edin.